Hello everyone, Father of the Everchosen here, back with some more Warhammer Total War quick battles. So we're going to hop in, and we'll be playing as the Empire, perhaps for the last time. If you caught the last video, I walked away with a Pyrrhic victory over a Skaven player, and hopefully I'm able to walk away with another victory. But I'm thinking that this time I will use maybe less common tactics and maybe not deploy as many state troops. Not because I don't want to win, but maybe to find a better, maybe not a better, but a different meta that can be used. I'm quite fond of using the Warrior Priest, but I do believe that the Archlector has the exact same, except for more powerful abilities. So perhaps we'll bring an Archlector this time, keep him on foot, and we'll have him supported by a Jade Wizard. Is still probably the mainstay that I will want, and we will keep him with Regrowth and Earthblood. But if we are going up against the Tomb Kings, perhaps a Bright Wizard up on a Pegasus, casting some fire magic, will be a boon. We'll give him a Power Stone, we'll give him Fireball, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and Burning Head. And then, as I said, I don't think I'm going to go with a core of state troops. I think perhaps we go with, maybe 2 halberds in case they bring, a big monster. They're going to probably bring maybe Ark in the Black. It's a pretty common pick for the Tomb Kings. We'll bring the Royal Altdorf Griffites, Demis with halberds. We'll grab Outriders with grenade launchers. And since I'm not going to be able to protect some artillery, perhaps we will break out a often loathed and maligned unit, the Black Lion War Wagon with a Hellblaster. So I have some mobile artillery, and on top of that we'll bring just some basic archers, and we'll spruce those guys up so that their leadership and defense stay kind of high. Maybe the Archlector won't be the best pick then, since I'm not using state troops. Oop. Oh. Well, we'll try it anyway. I was debating on whether or not, but he should still be able to support the halberds and the archers. Hopefully they don't bring too many carrion. If there's a lot of carrion, they'll be able to pick off the Bright Wizard. But if not, I should be able to rain down enough destructive magic and, the one buff spell that I do have to support, our demis. And we'll see if this kind of odd arrangement maybe has some hidden lesson to learn in it. Whether it's, perhaps the reliance on state troops is truly the best method for the Empire, or perhaps the Black Lion War Wagon has some uses somewhere. or that the grenade launchers may be able to tear through, high value targets here for the Tomb Kings. So we'll be waiting here, hopefully just a few more seconds. It is about just after midnight on April the 16th, so hopefully the traffic is not too bad on the web. So we'll slap the Arch Lector there right in the middle, and we'll just set it up like that. We'll have the archers set to skirmish. We'll just drop them back just a hair and stretch out our halberdiers to the max that they can be deployed. A demi on each side, and we'll put our grenade launcher cavalry over there, and our silly war wagon off to this side, and that should be enough of a deployment zone. They have deployed far more than me, but Tomb King troops are quite inexpensive. The difference, I guess, I would say, between their low tier infantry and the Empire State troops is the staying power of the Empire State troop. With a minimal amount of buffs or support from a lord, they are quite formidable. Even against higher tier infantry, they can hold out long enough. The trade-off for the Tomb Kings is that they crumble, so they'll stay longer, they don't rout, and you can field far more of them. So we'll see. They've got a bone giant here, and we'll just start moving right away. Get this war wagon into position, get the demis in there, and hopefully our infantry line gets up there. We'll shift targets. Have these guys fire on each individual. With no air support, should be able to just go right back there in and support, or not support, and hopefully take out this Casket of Souls. We'll drop Flaming Sword of Ruin. Move forward. Let's have this war wagon monstrosity start firing. So the grenade launchers are doing semi-good. And trigger battle prayers. Let's start firing in there. Drop some healing in on our cavalry. We will stop having our outriders retreat. Let's commit some more of our forces. The Black Lion is slowly picking away at the Bone Giant. Let's see if I can extract my cavalry. Power Stone. Frame rate's dropping a bit here, but nothing that I'm too concerned with right this moment. one of our demis. Let's move our other grenade launcher. And yep, that was who I wanted him to target. Soulfire. Drop some healing on the Royal Altdorf Griffites. And the Black Lion has been pinned down by these Ushabti, and it is not faster than the Ushabti, so it probably will not be able to escape. Royal Altdorf Griffites, perhaps I will be able to extract them, more than likely not. And like I said, this was purely to test some other units. The War Wagon and the grenade launchers. Now, the Outriders with grenade launchers, if they had not been ambushed by the Carrion, would have done quite well. Demigryphs, obviously, a pretty standard pick against Tomb Kings in case they bring large units. So I would say, walking away from this battle, the only unit that was worthwhile bringing, besides, you know, the Jade Wizard and the Demis, were the Outriders with grenade launchers, and perhaps the Bright Wizard, trying to micro all this with my poor micro skills. Definitely, you know, should not sway you against bringing a Bright Wizard. My skills just probably, I wouldn't bring 2 casters and you know, ranged cavalry and a mobile artillery and regular cavalry. But if you look at my opponent here, their Casket of Souls was, you know, that was the real moneymaker. It got almost half the kills, which makes sense because it was killing, you know, low tier archers and halberdiers. So I will give you a second match this time, since that one was not very long. And this time, again, we'll take what we learned, and perhaps the Outriders with grenade launchers may be useful. I have seen that, you know, they are good against blocks of infantry. They have the armor piercing, so dwarves, chaos. But again, when it comes to chaos, you have to watch out for harpies. You have to watch out for marauder horsemen and horse masters. And with the dwarves, you have to watch out for their ranged component, like quarrelers or thunderers, since the Outriders with grenade launchers have such a short range. As always, every unit is viable in campaign. Even on harder difficulties, you can probably find a use for almost any unit, since the AI can be cheesed and kited around in different ways. So, looks like we'll be going up against the Vampire Counts. So I think let's bring Volkmar the Grim and put him up on his pimp wagon, keep him with his battle prayers, and give him the Jade Griffin. And on top of that, we will grab a Jade Wizard, put him on a regular horse, leave him with just the basic spells, give him a Power Stone, and I think for this one, we will also bring a Warrior Priest, leave him with all his battle prayers, and give him the banner of Eternal Flame. That fire would help against things like Crypt Ghouls, Crypt Horrors, anything that is going to be weak to fire. I do not know, but Divine Power, if it's the same, it is. I do not believe it stacks its abilities, so you're not getting a 50% miscast chance. That would be a little gross, because you would always bring that against heavily magic factions. So we will be bringing basic spears because there's no ranged component. You're losing the 8 melee defense, which is not great, but you're saving 50. So I should be able to field a few more units. Basic archers should be fine for most cases. And then we'll bring the silver bullets purely for their magical ammunition. Should be good at picking off anything like the Mortis Engine or any other ethereal units like a Banshee or Hex Race. And then we'll bring just a regular Demigryph in case they have something like a Vargulf, or they drop on a dragon, or they have a Terrorgeist that drops on. Quickly snatch it up. Just because Demigryph Knights are anti-large does not mean that they're not good against infantry. I think the last battle can show you that. And perhaps this may be the time that I could use Outriders with grenade launchers. We'll grab one of them. Perhaps the Vampire Count player will bring something like the Stearnsman. This will be good to break apart, their formation, and then any other infantry would be broken apart quite easily by them. We'll look at the map. Relatively open. So perhaps instead we'll bring a Hellstorm rocket battery, or you know what, we'll bring the Hellstorm rocket battery in the Sunmaker. The fire damage, 8 ammunition, range 480. Hopefully this Vampire Count player brings a heavy infantry army and not a heavy monster army, because the Sunmaker will pretty much be useless against large targets. But with that, we will grab these Spearmen, upgrade them once, and we'll grab these Swordsmen and upgrade them once, and we'll upgrade one Archer. And that should be enough. So the game plan will be to have the Demigryph Knights probably hold in reserve near the Sunmaker. We'll have them come to us. Jade Wizards support Volkmar. Volkmar run around. Sion. Let me quickly check something. Okay, he is on that. I don't know why it's not ticked. That is a little odd. It's kind of hard to tell exactly. Perhaps that is a bug that CA knows about and is in the process of fixing. But we'll start this battle. Hopefully, again, a heavy infantry army. We support Volkmar running around, rear charging, kind of cycling back through our own lines, dropping battle prayers along with the warrior priest, supported by the Jade Wizard. And as long as it's an army that is not a heavy monster army, and even a heavy monster army, it really only makes the rocket battery obsolete, but even still, it should be able to perhaps target down some cavalry if they use that. If it's, for some reason the player decided to put, just a bunch of Argolfs down, and then a zombie dragon, then, of course, it won't be great, but I guess then is it really a terrible battle to have lost if somebody doesn't play, with a little bit of seriousness. So, should be able to deploy around here. Drop the Hellstorm rocket battery. About right there. Should have a pretty good range into their area. Protected by Demigryph Knights. And we will stagger our line just in case this player has decided to bring a Wind of Death. Not a common pick as it once was in the very early days of the game, but still, you never want to take that chance and have them blow directly through your line. We'll put Volkmar off to the right. We'll have the Warrior Police just on the left, and we'll leave this Jade Wizard in the rear. It does look like he's probably brought quite a bit of infantry, 830 to 864. And what I said about the Skaven not bringing more troops than me does not apply to vampire counts, because they can always replenish their numbers. They can add in more units by raising dead. So as my troops get whittled away, they can always replenish theirs to a point with invocations. So we'll commence this battle. Early target with the Hellstorm rocket battery. Have to make sure they didn't deploy any dire wolves in the rear or any Fellbats. Doesn't look like they did. And it looks like he's going with Crypt Ghouls. There are the Sternsmen. So let's target these zombies actually. That first volley. Semi-decent amount of kills. We've got Mannfred, and we've got Chillgeists and Direwolves. So we will move up a bit. Let's grab all these guys, put them on a defensive posture. Start firing back there again. So should be able to shift some troops around enough where I feel safe. And we will trade positions, having these archers, and we'll reveal our silver bullets early doors, have them start targeting Mannfred. The magical damage will be nice in the AP. Hellstorm rocket battery, as usual, just already paying dividends. 96 kills. Volkmar, his speed is 50. The Chillgeists is 94. So not. Now, Spirit Leech on the Demigryph Knights. We'll drop some minor healing for them. Target the Sternsmen, early doors. And we'll try to pull down that corpse cart as quickly as we can. Don't engage if we don't have to. pull the crew out here. And that corpse cart is quickly getting deleted. Pull the silver bullets over that way. And hopefully we're able to pull these guys out pretty quickly. They're keeping the Chillgeists in reserve, which I don't understand why at this point. They've lost more than is comfortable. At least I would definitely feel that way. Manfred is taking a beating. Drop some more healing on these demis. If the Demigryph Knights take all the healing, I wouldn't be too upset about that. We will have these archers engage in melee with the Skeletal Warrior, so I can pull the silver bullets out. Let's have Volkmar pull up, saving this Jade Wizard, reposition the Jade Wizard. Let's do a nice little rear charge here. Soulfire. And we'll drop the banishment, the bound banishment. Increase the melee attack values. And let's reposition Volkmar. Shots off on these Chillgeists. The magical damage is just ripping through them. That, single volley was enough to do quite a substantial amount of damage. Hopefully, I'm able to save this warrior priest with this soul fire, hitting the Graveguard with great weapons. We'll drop some healing on him. Jade Wizard routes. Let's pull these guys back in. Have them start getting some shots off on Manfred. He's not dead. He is withdrawing. We'll move Volkmar in and try to salvage some of this. It is not looking good for our boys. They chase the demis off. We've got Volkmar in here, duking it out with Manfred. Manfred's gonna pull out. Let's hit this Necromancer. Nope. We're gonna try to fire on him. That's Grand Soulfire. Shouldn't need that just yet. Hopefully he's going to try to dive bomb in here. Nope, he's going to summon some... Oh, nope. Nice breath attack right down the line. Grand Soulfire. I know it's not going to do much, but he doesn't have too much of an infantry blob left. We'll drop a banishment right here. Trigger another battle prayer. And Volkmar definitely would need a lot of prayer at this point to be able to pull this out. try to keep him around as long as we can. More than likely, though, he will succumb to being surrounded. The Chillgeists are going to be taking heavy damage from him, but Cycle Charging from Mannfred will probably spell his doom. But Volkmar is no slouch in combat. Getting Spirit Leech, though, is definitely going to take his health down quicker than he will be able to take down a Terrorgeist, a Zombie Dragon, the Chillgeist, and Graveguard with great weapons. Yeah, if they want to keep pushing me this way, I will be alright with that. Hit the Sternsman and just kind of push through. Stopping right around here. If I can get a Grand Soulfire off, not that it's going to win the battle or anything, but it may, nope. And just as the Grand Soulfire was about to come down, a valiant defeat in the battle. So I would say probably the biggest problem was not supporting my troops well enough with the Warrior Priest and Volkmar. Volkmar can be an army unto his own, but the Warrior Priest definitely should have been supporting some of these other units. I mean, you can see, you know, these spearmen probably went up against zombies. These swordsmen probably went up against zombies, but everybody else went up against Graveguard. And only this spearman, I think, you know, 39 kills isn't great, but they're the only ones who were able to really capitalize on anything. The Sunmaker, 117 kills. Good. It was probably mainly zombies, but some of it was Graveguard as well. Helpful. Losing the ability to finish my volleys off. I think I had one or two left. Definitely damaging. Losing the demis because they weren't properly supported. Definitely could have been helpful there in the end. All in all, Malekith, with having 2 full lores of magic, which he needs to not be the only lord who has that, and I know that I'm basically preaching to the choir at this point, but having his sword, which its name escapes me right now, and his special ability, instead of Arcane Conduit, I think it's like Dark Arts or Dark Mastery, being able to replenish his magic, his winds of magic so quickly, and these necromancers just being there to heal, on top of having the corpse card. I mean, he was just being able to heal his entire army the majority of that game. Losing the silver bullets, bad. They were able to get some early damage done to Malekith, but not Malekith, to Mannfred. Malekith is the player. To Mannfred, but he was able to recoup all that. And that one volley against the Chillgeist was nice, but it ultimately didn't go anywhere because they were shut down by direwolves and they weren't able to be properly pulled out. So I think we will probably go with one more set of battles. Hopefully I am able to play against another Vampire Count player. It would be good to see my skills tested once more against them. But if not, maybe a Dwarf player would be nice to play. A Beastman player. Not, the standard, Dark Elf or Skaven or High Elf. I know they're not only popular faction to play, but pretty powerful in the current meta. But I like to be tested against a wide variety of things, and I think playing against skilled players of even the worst factions, such as the Beastmen, or some people think Bretonnia is very bad, but being tested against a very seasoned player who's very knowledgeable about their faction, they can be just as good and just as competitive. Um, but hopefully, next battle we'll walk away with a victory. But until then, I have been Father of the Everchosen,